Got the old Mariner going. Took 10 minutes to clean the carburetor. It is pumping water, so I was happy about that. A few bugs to work out. She is running. She does a max speed of 28. A nice cruise at around 20 to 23, half throttle, a little above half throttle. But the motor's mounted a little too high, and the design of this transom, I can't go any lower. So she cavitates on takeoff, and I could use a bigger prop because she's screaming. But these Mariners always scream. Check out that nice houseboat. I'd like to meet the guy that owns it and built it. That's a lot of work. In the water a while, got a lot of bottom growth on it. Yeah, that thing is really nice. I'm about to search for him on YouTube, see if he's got a channel. Oh, that thing's floating on barrels. Try to. Pretty neat. First impressions, it's definitely a shallow water boat. With me in it, it's a 17-foot boat, fiberglass. Me, the motor, 6 gallons of gas. I'm only drawing about 3 inches of water. My transom is on the high end. If I go up a notch, I'll gain another mile per hour in speed, but I gain a lot of cavitation. The fin is even with the bottom of the boat. That's what some people want to get the most speed out of the boat. I do need a bigger wheel. If I want more speed, I could break 30 miles an hour. But I don't think I'm gonna go with a bigger wheel, because if you add 2 people in here and gear, you start adding weight with a bigger wheel, then you're overpropped. But the boat is very stable. It's solid, and as I stated in the previous video, it needs some fiberglass work. Because talked about this broke loose from the floor, the side console, the transom. So I can move the transom a little bit. As the transom moves, that's moving, and that helps the tie-in. The transom itself is solid. I'm gonna make it a little stronger. Of course, no leaks. This water is just the drain tube is a 1/4 inch above the bottom of the floor. That's something I may fix and put the tube lower. Depends how much I feel like getting involved when I do the fiberglass work. But the boat itself is to be an awesome fishing boat. Like right now, the back of the boat is about 3 inches above the water. I can't show you that because I'm out here, but I went and stopped at my dad's house, and my dad looked at it from the bank while I was in it. And right now the prop blades are out of the water. They're just coming out of the water with me standing on the bow. So it's a very light boat. A lot of people have a misconception, oh, it's a bigger boat, it needs a bigger motor. It does not need a bigger motor. It does 28 with this low 25. There's a 1997, never been overhauled. It needs some love, but she's operational. We've had it since new. I think back then we were paying $90 a month note on this motor. It used to have steering controls, a starter. Well, at one point in time, someone stole the starter and the relay system and the rectifier, so I can no longer charge a battery. And the lower unit, my dad broke a shaft on a lower unit probably in maybe 2008, 2009. He broke the shaft, and the shaft is no longer available, so I bought a used lower unit for like, I think $100 back then, and that's what's on it now. The tiller handle comes from a Mercury I bought about 10 years ago. I bought a 25 Mercury that was locked up. Our original handle, I spoke about it in a previous video. There's this plastic bushing right here. This stainless tube has a knurling on it, and the bushing's pressed on from the factory. Ours split probably around 2010. It split and slipped, so I didn't know where to clock it for to get it timed right with the throttle. I super glued it, put it back on, and then we no longer had reverse. We only had forward and neutral. So we ran it like that for a long time. 10 years ago, I picked up that 25 Mercury. I threw the tiller on here. I changed the impeller and went to run it. The power pack was bad. My brother wound up changing the power pack probably a couple years ago. He changed the power pack, and he ran it for about 4 or 5 hours, and then he had an issue to where the motor wouldn't rev up. He had to idle like 7-8 miles all the way back to the dock. He wasn't sure if it was the power pack he bought, because the power packs for these are very expensive, or it was another issue where it turned out it was the fuel connection. It was sucking air in the fuel system. I did break my primer knob this morning. This is to prime it. You pull it 3 times. It's like, instead of a choke, it has a primer. Johnson done the same thing, different design, but same principle. And then for high idle, you can turn this and it'll raise the idle up. Well, the little plastic piece snapped. So I'm going to have to find out a primer. Because right now, if you want to raise the idle up, the only way to raise the idle up is to pull the cover off. Which idle is good for cold starts. But it's not hard to pull the cover off. My base gasket is leaking. I'm leaking unburnt fuel down the side of the midsection, which is not a problem because that unburnt fuel goes through the exhaust. So either way, I'm putting the same amount of contaminants in the water. That's what outlawed 2 strokes, unburnt fuel. Base gasket's cheap. I've never changed it. That base gasket has been leaking for a long time. In fear of breaking the stainless steel bolts that hold the power head on to the midsection. That's why we never changed it. But anyway, overall, I'm satisfied with my trade. It did come with a Garmin 45 CV, I believe it is. It's missing the transducer. It's like a $150 unit. It does work. I powered it on. The only thing it's good for right now, it'll leave a track where you pass. The maps suck. One thing I never understood about Garmin, they come in Canada maps. Now, if I scroll through and go over to Canada, it's got a lot of detail. Down here, no detail. I don't know if there's upgradable, but even if it is upgradable, the price of the transducer is around $100 to $120 for the transducer. I believe it's called the Garmin GT20. This whole unit's $150, so that's why most times when I get a unit with no transducer, I don't buy the transducer for it. It's cheaper, almost not really cheaper. It's better to buy the whole unit new. Because what if you buy the transducer and something's wrong internally where it doesn't read it, or you won't know until you take that gamble. The LED light does work. I tried that last night. It does work. This stand-up bar is removable. It's tight right now, but it does come out. But yeah, I'm very happy with the boat. This is gonna be a good project, good little fishing boat. Later on, I'm gonna do some maintenance to the motor, some work to it. I'm gonna aluminum plate the rear of the transom and a plate on the front. I'm gonna do some glass work, tie this back in. As far as the layout, I don't think I'm gonna change the layout. I will buy a longer fuel line and put the tank in this big hatch. There's a massive storage hatch. It's filthy. I need to rip all the wiring out, change wires, or see what's good, what's not good. But I'm gonna put the 6-gallon tank on this side. There's plenty of storage in here. This is designed as a shallow water boat, and I'll tell you, it is a shallow water boat. I was very tempted to cut and build a tunnel and put a jack plate, but I don't play in 3 inches of water. It'd be nice to have the ability to do that. Most of my playing is in this lake. Once I do a tunnel and a jack plate, when you start hitting rough waves, you're gonna get a lot of cavitation. Right now, waves are nothing, maybe 6-inch waves. It's really nothing. The boat is very stable. I'm happy with it. Very happy. I've been wanting a shallow water, wide boat this size for a long time. I don't duck hunt. If I would duck hunt, I would be very thrilled to have this boat. I mostly just ride around and play. And, that's what I'm gonna do with it. So to end this video, I'm in Lake Boudreaux, and those trees over there. Let me try to zoom in. That tree is where I tie it with my houseboat. That's where I camp out. Lake Boudreaux, Louisiana. That is the Boudreaux Canal Bridge. That is Chauvin. Cocodrie is down that way, and directly across we have the town of Dulac. And then up there is Grand Kaya and Homa. So there's a nice lake. I found this lake all my life. It's always cool to come ride in the lake. So yeah, I'm gonna let y'all go. Temperature's probably around 70 degrees today, 70 to 75. Nice cloud cover, good little breeze blowing. It was a good day to come test ride and get stranded in the lake. I brought my backup plan, which I do not want to use. But if I had to, I could always call my dad. He's 5 miles away. He can come pick me up. See you on the next one. Thank y'all for viewing.